I have ADHD and I go through games like I change clothes. I feel for my friends when I find the next game. It's like the best game ever.
Well, reason for the call today, John, is it is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months.
For me just to cast it aside and never touch it again. So with that being said, I have curated top 5 games for ADHD gamers. With that being said, there is a little bit of a disclaimer. All opinions are my own, and obviously anything that I say that scratches my ADHD brain might not scratch yours. This is just really a recommendation of some games, and with that being said and out of the way, let's go ahead with number 1. Number 1 is old school RuneScape. So now I know what you're thinking, this game screams efficiency gamer, but the fact that you can jump into a world left with no linear path and you get to choose wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do is amazing. I mean, the fact that you have 23 skills and then from there you can pick whatever one you want to hone in on at that moment, at least that's how I personally play it, honestly really scratches my ADHD brain. When you start with ADHD, what happens is you have these tasks that can be broken down into multitude tasks. So like when you have 5 tasks, which like somebody else would view as 5 tasks, I might personally view it as 15, 20, 25, 35 tasks in one succession. Whereas in RuneScape, I have 23 skills that I can focus in and hone in on those. And then from there, it kind of has a natural progression of rolling into the next skill. Like for example, I was leveling up my woodcutting skill, and then it got to a point where for me to wield a black axe, which would make me be more efficient at chopping down the trees, I would have to level up my battle. So then I could focus on the battling skill. So it's kind of a really nice flow to it, and it really just scratches that itch. And then whatever I'm not enjoying, I just move on to whatever tasks I want to enjoy. Like after a while, I got bored of focusing on my combat and my strength. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do some fishing. So I've just been fishing. So the game's just been really fun. Just being able to jump into a world, like I said, no linear path, choose whatever skill you want to hone in. It's honestly a very zen game to play, even though the overwhelming theme of like being in a medieval world where you're kind of coming up as a hero, it doesn't necessarily feel that way for me, as more so as it's just like a fun game that I can pick up whenever and enjoy. The other really nice thing about RuneScape, old school RuneScape, is if you get burned out, you can not touch it for a while, and then one day when you're bored, just pull it up on your phone, you know, your computer or whatever, however you like to play it, and just jump back into the world where you left off. I mean, you can kind of just focus in on your skills if you want to focus on questing, and everything's kind of laid out in front of you. And honestly, I feel like it's never a struggle just to hop into some old school RuneScape. I love it. Number 2 is League of Legends. Now I know what you're thinking here. This is completely a linear path. Every game's the same, and there's certain tasks that you have to do broken up as you go through whatever role you're playing. And I personally play jungle, and for me, honestly, that perfect chaos of that world, for some reason, I get honed in on it, and it kind of makes you think about nothing else around you in the ether. It's just you and in the game. I can't think of a single League of Legends game where I'm thinking about anything else around me aside from in that game, when I'm in that lane, and especially with jungling.
Fortunately, we have Michael on Silas. And Michael has never lost a game of League of Legends on Silas before.
I also haven't played one, but we'll see how they go.
Jungling requires you to be all over the map. You're laser focused on every individual lane, and it honestly just feels very satisfying playing like that and kind of enjoying how it rolls into the next thing, because I'm always focusing on something else, you know, from the mid to the early to the late game. There's constant stuff moving, and it's just a perfect chaos world that you're just entwined in, and there's nothing else around you that can kind of break your focus. So that game is a lot of fun for me. I know it's a very interesting game to put on this list because of that linear path, because every game is the same, your ultimate goal at the end. But there's so many variables and there's so much thing that can change from game to game, and all the characters and all the progression. It's a game that I constantly jump into. And again, another free game. If you haven't tried League of Legends out, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you beat that learning curve, it's all fun. Just make sure you mute your chat.
I'm about to die?
Number 3 on my list is V Rising. Arguably any crafting game will work in this situation, but for me personally, this is the game that I've really enjoyed. For me, being able to craft a giant diabolical Dracula castle and all the resource collections, having familiars, doing all the vampire lord things really just scratches my own personal itch, but then also my ADHD. When you have ADHD, you kind of explore creativity in a multitude of different ways. And when I'm gaming and I'm feeling a little bit creative, I just jump into a V-Rising game. Again, arguably it could be any type of creative game, but for me, just having that Diablo-esque battle combat, as well as being able to build this crazy storied Dracula castle with, rats running around. I don't know, it just slaps. That's the type of game. I love that type of creativity in the game as well. Yeah, so V-Rising is number 3. Before we move on to number 4, I just want to say, if you're still here, thank you for watching, and if you enjoy this, please drop a like and subscribe. All right, let's go ahead and jump to number 4. Number 4 is an odd one. This one's a card game. It's Magic the Gathering Arena. Again, another game that I can get on my phone. I've been playing a lot on my Steam Deck, on my computer, just having the access, and honestly, I use this game as more of a tool. When I get stun locked, I don't know if you've ever been stun locked, but sometimes I get stun locked where I come home, I want to do something, but there's so much rushing in my mind. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to hop on my computer, play a game. I don't know if I want to edit. I don't know if I want to make a video. Sometimes just having something to break my focus and play a quick game of Magic the Gathering, either on the couch or wherever I'm at, it just really kind of breaks up that stun lock feeling, and then I can kind of move on from there. Or I could just dive bomb into it and play it for 4 hours because I freaking love that game. So it's kind of a tool in a way that I use just to kind of move on to the next either, activity that I want to do, or just kind of break up that odd frozen state. I don't know if anybody else ever has that frozen state, but I always have that frozen state, and sometimes I just gotta defrost after work. I don't really know if the whole stun lock frozen situation is just a me thing, but if this is something that you deal with, I relate to it with my ADHD. So if it's something that you struggle with, maybe use that as a tool. I mean, that's what I use it as, and it's been working really, really well. Number 5 on my list is Dead Cells. Playing a roguelike is huge for me because luckily for ADHD gamers, you guys are very quick decision makers. And having a game like that, which is quick, succession, constant action, is really, really good for a really good run. I mean, I love this game. I definitely feel like I excel in more roguelike, kind of Metroidvania style games, and it's just really satisfying. I love playing that game. I honestly use this game a lot before bed. I play it on my Nintendo Switch Lite. Sometimes it kind of just pulls that little bit of gas out of my brain. I'm a little bit of a motor brain at night, kind of have a hard time falling asleep, and I hear that looking at screens isn't really good for you, but for some reason for me, it doesn't really affect me too much, at least from what I can tell, and it's just a really good game to check out. If you want to check out Dead Cells, it's usually on sale pretty regularly on Steam. If I was smart, I would have gotten it on my Steam Deck, but I don't want to buy it again, so I constantly play it on my Switch Lite. Dead Cells, another thing that's really nice about it is there's a minimal commitment rate, right? You just pick it up, you start your run, and you go. There's not a lot of loading screens. There's not a lot of, time to think about whatever you want to do next or whatever you're doing. You just kind of turn it on, you click, you play, and you start your run, or you continue your run that you haven't finished. So for me, another roguelike game, any roguelike game is actually a lot of fun. It's honestly also probably just more of a personal preference, kind of like what I said in the disclaimer. This is kind of a game list that I really enjoyed, like the Metrovanias you might not like. You might not like the crafting games. You might not like the MMORPG style of RuneScape. You might not like the MOBA style of League of Legends, but for me, these are all the games that I use that I really enjoy and have a good time playing, and it really scratches that ADHD side of my brain. And it also kind of rewards me, where I kind of feel that when I have ADHD, I kind of use it as like a downer. I'm like, oh man, I have ADHD, I gotta deal with stuff in different ways, but the older I get, the more I try to use the positive sides of having ADHD to advance, things, kind of use it to, my power. and it really is a superpower. All right, that's my list. If you enjoyed this list, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you are interested in getting in these games, especially any of them that require a cost to it, maybe practice 24-hour rule. This is something that I've implemented recently whereas as I look at these games, I think to myself, just for impulse control, like, is this something that I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna be about this for about 5 minutes, or is this something that I'm actually gonna play and enjoy? And maybe we can minimize our Steam libraries and finish games. This one was a bit of a vulnerable video for me. I don't like to highlight my ADHD, kind of gets down on myself, but I thought, you know what? It really is a superpower, not a curse, and I figured maybe there's a lot of people out there that may think like me as well, might feel a little cursed at times, but really highlight that superpower that you have. I mean, you guys are really creative, out-of-box thinkers, and yeah, you might counteract some, you know, attention or impulse control and dive bombing into yet another interest, but again, being an out-of-box creative thinker is just what I think the world needs. So if you enjoyed this, please drop a like, subscribe, comment down below. If there's any game that you like that I haven't listed in this game, drop it down. I'd love to check it out. And again, I'll be practicing that 24-hour rule, especially if it costs money, because my Steam library keeps growing and I'm not finishing these games. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.